See, losing a smartphone is sad, but it is not uncommon. एक minute. हाँ मेरा है. If you have lost a smartphone, what do? You sometimes file an FIR, you block your SIM card, and that's it. You sometimes also use these features like Find My Smartphone, but you are unable to find it. In that case, what you should be doing, that's what we're going to talk about in today's video. This is Abhik. Let's get started. So we're back in the studio and we're going to talk about what you need to do when your smartphone is lost. You just need to remember two things. First, you have to block its access. Second is you have to track its whereabouts. How can you do it? So there's a government-made website. It's called CEIR. It's developed by the Department of Telecommunication. Through the website, you can block the access of your smartphone. You can unblock the access. At the same time, you can track whatever the updates related to the stolen smartphone are. The most important part about this whole process is that you can even block the access if the robber has changed the SIM card on the device. And this entire process just take 2 minutes. So इतना लंबा टाइम भी नहीं लगेगा आपको अपना stolen smartphone track करने के लिए. So without any delay, let's see the process. So first हमें वेबसाइट पे जाना है. वेबसाइट बहुत सिंपल है. CEIR टाइप करो गूगल पे. After that, this is the first option. You go here. So this is the website which is developed by the government. It's called Central Equipment Identity Register. Very simple options. You don't have too many fancy options to confuse you. There are some more here which we'll talk about in a detail. So first, if you've lost your smartphone, what you need to do is you have to block its access. How can you block it? Go on this option. Here you have to fill the form. The form is pretty straightforward. You have to remember that you also need to file an FIR because you will need that number in this section later on. So let's start with the basics. At the top, you have to give in your mobile number. Say I give a random mobile number here. It has to be a 10-digit mobile number. You have to give your IMEI number. We'll talk more about it, how to find your IMEI number on the box or on your smartphone. Second is brand device. So you have to give your brand name. You will find a lot of options here. As you can see, sometimes it's not smooth. But if you search, say I search Apple, Apple ka aa gaya. Your model number, say if I lost an iPhone 7, you have to find the purchase invoice, you have to upload it here. Then you have to give in more information. Lost place, say I lost it in Noida. State, Uttar Pradesh, select district. Say if I put just Lucknow, and you have to put the police station number. Here you have to give the number that you got while filing the FIR. And obviously you have to upload that file as well. Then owner's name, if it's registered under your name, your address, upload identity. You have to give your ID card here. So you can select Aadhaar card, PAN card, whichever you have at that moment. The number of the identity card, captcha, simply get the OTP on your smartphone, accept the declaration and submit. So this entire form will allow you to block the access of the stolen smartphone that you had, and it roughly takes 24 hours. You will get all the details on whichever number you have provided. Now for instance, you have found your stolen smartphone. How do you unblock its access so that you can put your SIM card and reuse it again? So in that case, you have the unblock found mobile option. This is also pretty straightforward. So once you have already blocked it, you will get a request ID. You put in that request ID here. You add your mobile number, select the reason for unblocking. Why, if you probably found it, blocked by mistake, other reasons, so and so. Get the OTP and you can again reuse the stolen smartphone that you have found. There's another option, if you can see, check request status. So this will work while the phone is being searched by the police. So once you have already registered a complaint and you have requested a block ID, you can track whatever information that the police will provide, whether the phone has been on or whether the phone has been off or whether it's still in the process of being found. Now we spoke about the IMEI number. So just remember, IMEI number is this distinct code about your smartphone. You can find it in different ways. You can find it on the box of the smartphone that you purchased. You can also find it on the smartphone, but obviously you have lost it. So we'll advise you to keep the IMEI number handy, written it somewhere so that you can access it later. You will also find this another option called KYM. So KYM is Know Your Mobile. What happens if you have bought a second-hand smartphone and you want to check whether that smartphone is authentic or not? You can simply do these two processes. First is you need to put in the IMEI number. So now that we've talked about how to track your stolen smartphone through the CEIR website, it is also very important to remember why we are talking about this website. See, When you lose a smartphone, your data is at risk, right? If any bad actor or any hacker gets access to your smartphone, the liability will be on you. So in that case, this website is very handy. It will let you unblock the access to your device, and it is very important to remember it as well. Anyway, so if you are planning to buy a second-hand smartphone after losing the first smartphone, if you want to know what should you remember, that's another video and I'll be talking about it. You can let us know in the comments if you want to see that video, and I will see you very soon. This is Abhik. You're watching Fiiber.